fault. We recorded the flaws within INEC and the conduct of the elections and all that. But what were your thoughts, Divine?
I felt like the pressure was just too much for him, and I feel like peace is very paramount. So for him,
for his mental health sake.
Yes, he just needed peace. That's just it.
Okay, well, but like Cynthia had said, it's quite sudden. But I don't think it's too bad if the structures are in place for another person to come and strengthen the structures and enhance our political or rather electioneering process. That's very exciting.
There's an acting chair already.
Oh yes, he handed over to an acting chair. By the way, the lady, so I'm excited. Well, let's go straight to the newspapers this morning. It's newspaper review time. We would start with the Business Day newspaper this morning. The Business Day newspaper here is talking about the soaring cooking gas prices strain household budget. 1 kg reaches 3,000 naira in Lagos and Abuja. Experts point at FX crunch, union strike, transport costs, inadequate storage capacity. I mean, for a country like ours that has abundant gas reserves, it breaks my heart that some of us cannot even have cooking gas.
The cooking gas now, is it that there is no way to, like, is it scarce or it is expensive?
Expert point at foreign exchange crunch, union strike, that now brings logistics into it, that's transportation, inadequate storage capacity. It's very unfortunate. Now we have to flee. We've been talking about the inadequate storage capacity for our gas, and it's embarrassing because this is a country that borrows so much, and we can actually solve that problem. I don't think Nigeria is too young at 65 to have gas pipes supply gas to our homes, and we do the regulation. I think what about does it? What about does it where you have water, you know, you can see it come down, you know, the regulation is there, you pay your water bills seamlessly. We are not too small to have gas like I see in other parts of the world. It's safer. You don't even need trucks to be taking gas from one end. Apart from the strain on the individuals, the attendant accidents that we often record in all this movement, the strain on our road infrastructure as well. So I don't know why we are still back there, but the Business Day has other stories here. INEC, he says, Yakubu bows out, hands over to Agbanuche Mbu. Yeah, I think that's the name there. Like we had said earlier, it's quite interesting, you know, that Nigerians had asked INEC boss to step down. Okay, let's see how the acting works, if the president is going to announce yet another, or we would have that kind of electoral reforms where the National Assembly have been asking for possibly having a more independent selection process that is away from government. Because the argument here is, if the president, who is going to be subject to an electoral process, has to appoint an electoral umpire's leader or chairman or however,
the possibility of this being compromised.
Exactly. So there's been talks of a completely independent body that constitutes it for paper's sake.
Okay.
You know, ideally it's the right thing, but I'm telling you, sitting from here, that if Nigeria plans on compromise, if they like, there should be a crowd of 1,000, they will be compromised. Whatever group that is supposed to be that independent would still be compromised. We saw it during elections where delegates who are supposed to come help Nigeria pick leaders would now leave with, remember, I don't know if you remember, guys, they left with several bags and envelopes of lots of money that determined who emerged. So I do not have confidence in that. I feel like every individual should have integrity, and not necessarily, oh, because I was appointed, I will do the wrong thing, I will subvert the wishes of the entire masses. But that's my thoughts. Divine, what are your thoughts on it?
I feel like integrity is like a huge thing, but there's something that someone used to always tell me. He says everybody has a prize, but before you find out your prize, like don't listen, just walk away from it. So I feel
Don't stay long enough. That's a beautiful one. Don't stay long enough to even find out what your prize is. That's a good one.
Should not even should not be dependent on it. Should not be at the cost of
absolutely
masses or making the right
exactly.
decision.
Don't stay long and don't even negotiate to stay long enough to know what your price is. That's a good one.
Yeah. So that's just it.
That's just it. Okay, so we have other stories here. Favorable weather lifts Nigeria's cashew earnings 11-fold. You know, these are. I mean, when we look into the potentials in agriculture, it's exciting. Some countries don't even have arable land. They don't have agriculture. They don't have oil and the resources Nigeria has. All they probably have that gets them going. Look at Switzerland. It's tourism. Tourism is what drives their economy. Tourism. So Nigeria is blessed with multi-sectoral, flourishing, potentially viable sectors, several sectors. If Nigeria says, you know what, we want to concentrate on petroleum, give it that sanity necessary. Really document the earnings in a very transparent and accountable manner. Petroleum alone, we would make money, but petroleum has byproducts. We have gas, we have several other products that come out of diesel and all of that comes out of petroleum. If we still want to to concentrate on just tourism, the potentials are endless. There's no state in Nigeria that does not have tourism potential. If you want to go agriculture, you know, and then we have favorable weather that has increased cashew earnings, you know, for those who do export. But with that, we move on from the Business Day newspaper this morning to the first daily newspaper this morning. The first daily is leading with the story. It says, end of an era. Tinubu honors Yakubu as Agbamuche Mbu takes over at INEC. Tinubu honors Yakubu as Agbamuche Mbu takes over at INEC. The rider here says, President confers national honor on outgoing INEC boss after turbulent tenure. Wow, the president has eventually accepted. Well, we've already taken that story. Moving away from that, Minister Nnaji resigns amid certificates forgery scandal. That's the Minister of Innovation. I saw that story as well. Due to certificates forgery, several scandals rather that has been ongoing, and the riders here also, Tinubu again has accepted that resignation. And are you happy that the president is just accepting resignations?
I would say if there's a need for it, then he has no choice than to accept it, because the reason why Uche Nnaji resigned was because of the certificates forgery allegations. So if he feels like, okay, there's a valid reason for him to resign, then why not?
Divine?
Yeah, it's actually a good one that he supports him to resign, because, you know, like I said, peace of mind is actually paramount.
In this instance, who's having the peace of mind, the president or Nnaji?
Both ways.
But my concern now is that, is it not going to affect, you know, before they could appoint him, were there not like vetting processes for them to have checked before it gets to the point of him becoming the minister and then now having to resign?
Ladies, you know how this vetting process often goes. You know, unfortunately, there is a vetting process. I think EFCC, DSS, all conduct vetting processes, but it also feels that thing Nigerians say, that if you annoy the powers that be, that vetting process they may have blinked just to let you sail through, knowing that they have it in your dossier for tomorrow. You're like,
they have something to hold you down.
Unfortunately, when you hear these speculations from Nigerians, it plays out because there is a vetting process. I have been vetted before, believe it or not. I have been vetted before, so I know when this law enforcement wants to vet you towards something, they go all out. My secondary school teachers were asked questions about me. My classmates, my friends, they went to my village. I need you to understand, when they plan to do a vetting, Nigerians are thorough when they want to be. We are not anyhow people. So it surprises me when individuals emerge. 2 years down the line, you now say certificate forgery. Who should know about certificate? In fact, if the DSS did not notice certificate forgery from the word go, is it now? So it fuels that speculation that they often hold this thing against you and keep it until when your cup full, like Nigerians like to say. But you're right. I just hope that we do better. I mean, I don't even know where to start. Is it agencies that should? Let's all just do better. Let's all just do better. Senate okays 10-year passport ban for Nigerians jailed abroad. 10-year passport ban. Do you think this would deter Nigerians from committing crimes? Moreover, the Nigerians do not even commit as many crimes. Criminally speaking, the crime Nigerians commit mostly is immigration crime. They just want to leave Nigeria. Often they overstay their immigration status. They work when they do not have work visas. That is the kind of crimes you see that Nigerians largely commit abroad. I mean, it's in the statistics. We are in a country of a lot. So if a country of 200 million, you could imagine that if you go to Canada, if you go to the UK now and say, hey, Caro, I promise you in your street, they're like, that will respond, you know. Just like we have good people all over the world, we have bad people. And so sometimes it often looks like it's only the bad part of the Nigerians that are portrayed. We have Nigerians innovating there. We have Nigerians breaking bounds across the world. So it's a bit disheartening. But do you think this would deter Nigerians from committing crimes abroad? The Senate has okayed 10-year passport ban for Nigerians jailed abroad. Meaning what exactly? When they come out of jail time, they will have to deport themselves because they will not be allowed to renew their international passport. Or when they are jailed, I mean, I don't get it. When you're jailed abroad, you're already abroad. So what happened?
Do you think they should have brought them back to Nigeria to serve their jail time in Nigeria?
No, I mean, if I am, I mean, I just do not understand everything about this particular policy or legislation. How just picture this: I am abroad. Okay. I have committed a crime. I'm now in the system, having committed, let's say, drug crime. I don't do drugs, just hypothetically speaking, everyone. But say you commit a crime, and the Nigerian government, of course, there are collaborative data systems that would also, let's say, we are there yet, and it picks to say this one has committed a crime. It's now in the system for committing this crime. So what happens? You now ban this person from renewing his passport. He's stuck abroad.
Then after his jail term, he would proceed to come back to Nigeria.
This is a country that is already overstaying their travel, immigration.
So it doesn't even make any difference because the person is still there.
He's still there.
Oh, okay.
He's stuck abroad. You have, in fact, if anything, you have legitimized his stay abroad. He legitimately cannot renew his license, his passport. So you have, well done, sir.
No, but you 10 years of the person's life will be wasted as well. Just
how is it wasted?
And not being productive. Not being productive in what you actually went abroad to do. You'll not be able to achieve it. So I feel like it's still going to.
These are Nigerians. You're forgetting something. These are Nigerians who know that when they flout immigration laws, they are often banned. America, for instance, you go to America, you're supposed to say 6 months, you say 7 months, and you go back to your country. You have tough time coming back into the country. These are people who know that they have 6 months to stay in the country, they stay 5 years. because they don't even want to come back, and you now tell them for flouting the laws you can't even renew your passport to actually get to legitimize. They are not legitimate. They know they are not, and they are already fine. So I think we should still figure out ways. I would one of these days we would interview the senators, maybe the senator championing this bill. I'm not sure who he is or who she is at the moment, but let's go to the nitty-gritty of it. I would like to know exactly what the motive is, what they hope to achieve from it all, and if it doesn't have a ripple effect, or rather a flipped effect, where you're hoping to deter people and make them return home. You actually have legitimized their stay abroad, because my government has banned me for 10 years from renewing my stuff. Why can't I just stay here? Okay. Dangote Pengassin dispute threatens investor confidence. Kuka others have warned. We all know about the Dangote and Pengassin issue, where some people are holding others by the neck and all that. Okay. Sanu Nasu to stage nationwide protests October 9th over unpaid allowances. Here we go with our education sector once more. I'm hoping that we have an overhaul that would see us not have quarrels back and forth. But I've also listened to people who say we have sectors of the economy that are suffering just as much, but Aso, Sanu and all of that often are not patient at all. There's so much decadence across board. I'm not saying we should accept it, but education is so important that you're holding people's entire futures in your hands. Maybe sometimes it's not about going on strike and doing nationwide protests. Maybe sometimes it's further explore dialogue, which they will say they have done, but I don't know. How many times did ASU hold you back?
Never. I didn't experience strike in school, though.
You were the ones that attended private schools?
Private uni.
You?
So no, me, I attended the public uni, and I experienced strike at least 3 times before.
Major ones?
Major strikes. Major strikes. 5 months, 6 months. Then the strike that happened before the COVID era.
Right.
So everything was just like, by the time we resumed back to school, it was just like we were starting all over.
Did you remember anything?
Because in fact, we just had to, and then because of to meet up with the deadline of the calendar, we were now like being rushed. And it even affected our learning process, because we just felt like we just wanted to finish. We don't even know what we are doing, or if we are actually achieving. For we just finish already. Just graduate.
Yeah, because Nigeria wants to stick to an annual curriculum. So please just finish and go already. Well, let's take a break. This is still Aso Morning, where we are having the newspaper review. The newspaper review segment is not over yet, but we're going for a short break so that we can all pay bills. We'll be back after that.
We are a nation blessed with people of diverse cultures, religions, languages, and opinions. It is ironic that we are now being ripped apart by our greatest strength, our diversity. We have allowed intolerance, insensitivity, bigotry, and nepotism to blind our vision of the greatness we can achieve working together as one. We may not have the same culture, nor religion, nor language, but we all belong to the same nation by the divine will of God. We did not choose to be Nigerians. Nigeria chose us. This nation is our divine heritage, and if we open our eyes, we would realize that what divides us pales in comparison to what unites us. And by the comparison and conciliation of our differences, we will grow until our differences disappear. Our unity cannot be willed by mere declarations, nor do we get unity by ignoring the questions that beg for answers. We must celebrate our diversity and debate our differences without fracturing our unity. Our strength is not in our numbers, but in our unity, because even the weak become strong when united. Nigeria unite. This message is brought to you by Abuja Broadcasting Corporation, owners and operators of Aso Radio 93.5 FM Abuja, Aso Television DSTV Channel 392, Star Times Terrestrial Channel 127, Free TV Channel 507, People's TV Channel 285, and UHF Channel 38.
Welcome back. This is still newspaper review on Aso Morning. I am Dr. Joy ASONYE. We have Simbiat and Divine right here. We have if you're just joining us, we've had the first part of this conversation discussing the newspapers. We are still deep into the newspapers. What do we have next, Simbiat?
Okay, so on Daily Sun, we have Tinubu's minister Uche Naji resigns. Is a story that is trending because
absolutely
we've taken it before. So, but I'm just going to give a brief context to it. Resignation out of maybe certificate forgery is not a new thing in Nigeria.
Unfortunately,
it is something that has been reoccurring.
Unfortunately,
I feel like we've gotten to a point whereby it actually needs to stop.
Yeah.
Whether proper vetting before the actual appointment, or we just have to verify them properly so that we don't have issues like this reoccurring.
Absolutely. Okay. We have other stories?
Yes, we have another story on Tinubu conferring national honor on ex INEC boss Yakubu.
And there's a rider here. It says ex INEC chair proceeds on terminal leave. Well, that's funny and also interesting. Almost as if to say, I hear what Nigerians are saying, but I appreciate what you have done for us. That's what I see as this conferment of a national honor. I wish we could read the rider here. It says President Bola Tinubu has officially accepted the departure of Mahmood Yakubu as chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission following conclusion of his second term. See how it is different. Here it says conclusion of his second term. Others have been tagging it as resignation. Yakubu, who first assumed the role in November 2015 and had his tenure renewed in 2020, stepped down as his appointment expired under his leadership. The electoral body conducted the bimodal voter accredited, that's the BVAS accreditation system, and the INEC result viewing as IRF portal, among others, to enhance transparency. Yes, I mean there's so many things we would thank this former chairman for, but I see that that conferment is sending a message to Nigerians: go to court if you do vex. So, Divine, what do we have next?
Science Minister in Nigeria.
What newspaper is that?
Leadership.
Okay, we move now to the Leadership newspaper this morning. Okay, what does it have?
INEC Yakubu bows out, hands over to acting chair Agbamuche.
Agbamuche. Can you imagine this Igbo girl not pronouncing Igbo name? Agbamuche. This Igbo girl not pronouncing Igbo names. Okay.
Alleged certificate forgery. Science Minister in Nigeria resigns. So that's what we have.
Okay. There are other stories. Take the one above the masthead.
New tax law exempts most workers from pay
as you earn.
Oyedele.
Yeah. And other stories here. See, ADC can't afford to fail. David Mark is telling members, the coalition is telling members that they cannot afford to fail, and I agree with them, because imagine Atiku is coming together, the big way, it's Atiku, Yegun, name it. Peter Obi is staying. He's still okay. He's still not. He's still there or not there. Erifai, and all that. So it would be such a shame. It would be such a shame if actually, after all that, they fail. And Nigerians have been asking Atiku to resign his position from the PDP and take up the ADC, the membership. And it goes to ask a question. You want Nigerians to believe that you believe in the ADC, but you have not plunged both feet into the ADC. If you want to one leg in the PDP, one leg in the APC, the same thing you claim that Wicked is doing, which made you so angry that you left the PDP, or have you left the PDP? I mean, it's just you don't even know yet. You have not officially picked up the ADC membership ticket. That will give anybody who is looking at the ADC at the moment the confidence that if Atiku is confident about the ADC, I should have some level of confidence, because he probably wants to steer the ADC into the better political party ship or something. But you are not doing that. And well, David Mark is saying that the ADC cannot afford to fail. We have Natasha resumes in the Senate after 6 months suspension. Natasha resumes in the Senate. I hate to say this, but I saw her looking a bit humbled. Is it me?
I think the whole situation is just overwhelming for her, because
no, it's not overwhelming for her. At some point, I thought I personally felt like she was enjoying the attention and drama. But yesterday, I saw her looking humble. Is it me?
Let's just say she's just stressed out from the whole thing, and it's, you know.
No, maybe she actually went into retrospection and saw that, okay,
maybe I shouldn't have been too loud.
I shouldn't have been too loud. Maybe we should have settled it without going public or this way. So maybe that's why she just had to.
But I am all for the woman's right. I understand the issues that women face in such positions, in all strata, from education and all of that. I understand all that. I wouldn't say she should have kept quiet if indeed it happened. Do you get? My take is not keep quiet. And I honestly, with all my heart, do not say if it happens and you are marginalized because of sexual harassment, like it was all over the place. My take isn't for you to cower, right? However, there were ways I thought it could have been handled better that still gives respect to our National Assembly. That's what I personally felt, because it made rubbish of that place as sacred to Nigerians. The quality of air you and I breathe is determined by the policies that's made there. Quality of the air that the human right you enjoy is determined by the policies. So it's a sacred, it's a hallowed chamber for Nigerians. So I don't think it should be dragged like that. You know, there were ways it could have been done with more decorum. Listen, if I have an issue as a colleague, I have an issue with you, you know how to get to HR, right? Without calling the entire members of staff first. Yes, and they make so it kind of rubbishes your place. And I keep telling women, as a strong woman advocate in Nigeria, I keep saying it, learn the process. Don't be a noisemaker. If you as a noisemaker, you have actually put yourself in the box that Nigerians, the men put you in. Don't be whether you're right or wrong.
Nobody wants to know. But as long as you didn't do it the proper way, you're going to have to take the heat the way it came.
It's unfortunate, but that's true. If, candidly speaking, if roles were reversed and it's a man, what do you think could have happened? Strategically, they will attack you, you will be down. They didn't make noise. In fact, as they would, in their subtlety, right, you will pity them. And you will find out that they will gather more support from the strategic ways they are facing and not being caught. Well, but that's just me. It was good. It's good to have her back. The people of Kogi Central, right? Still have their representatives and all that. And that's it for the leadership newspaper this morning. We quickly move on now to the Daily Trust newspaper. Amipitan may emerge INEC chair. Well, the Daily Trust is leading with a story here, preempting or anticipating the appointment of Amipitan. Minister resigns over alleged certificate forgery. We've taken their 2,000 Nigerian refugees to return from Niger. Federal government is saying it's unfortunate that Nigerians have to run to Niger. No apologies, but come on. It's unfortunate. Woman set husband ablaze. We heard that story. I think this is the story of the lieutenant in Akwa Ibom State whose wife over an argument poured and trust the internet to bring up wedding pictures. They looked so beautiful. Divine, Cynthia, we have to be careful. When I will never marry. and you know, when women do it, it's just as bad, right? Imagine it was a man that did it. Now, all of us would have screamed again and said, this is what we have been talking about, domestic violence. But what we forget in our advocacy all the time is that in spite of the low numbers of women that are doing it, it is completely wrong. It is not a win when a woman does it. It's not a win when a woman hits on a man. No. I have also witnessed instances where a woman makes the home so unbearable for the man that he's afraid of coming home. He comes home, he tells you, I'm quiet because I'm afraid to say something that would annoy her, and then it becomes all that. She has not succeeded in hitting him, but she has emotionally harassed him to a point where he is no longer a human being. No, forget man, he's a human being. He can't express himself. So domestic violence is domestic violence, and it should be scorned at. Yes, women are more susceptible to becoming victims, but domestic violence is domestic violence. And unfortunately, this one led to the death of a handsome young army medical officer. Handsome young army medical officer. As rare as that is.
I have to think at the adjectives. Handsome young medical officer. I'm telling you, that's so sad.
It really is.
I feel like those signs are actually seen, but you just seem to ignore them. More like saying, oh, he's going to change or she's going to change and we're going to walk through it in marriage. If it doesn't change in the relationship, there's no point getting it.
Divine, you know that how? You know that how? But you're right. We often disregard these subtle signs in relationships and courtship where, you know, he flares up or she flares up over the smallest things, and you're like, oh well, you make excuses, sometimes very stupid excuses. I know instances where for us there's a fine line, you know, when you are a friend looking from outside, you could see the red, and you don't have emotional attachment to this individual, so the red flags are like a very big red billboard. So you can see it. But there's also that place. Are you going to, okay, let me just ask, I'm your colleague,
okay,
and friend, and there is that, you know, relationship that I'm in. You can see that this person has a bad temper. You can see it because you don't have emotional attachment to the person, and you don't have those stupid feelings that often cloud our judgment. It's not there in you. You can see clearly. In the way the person responds to me, you don't even see affection. He's narcissistic or something. How would you tell me?
First, I know better not to advise people in love or people that, because at the end of the day, the lady would even see you as as an enemy, that, oh, you don't want me to be with this person, because it's just, I'll just be praying for, I'll just keep you in my prayers first.
But how does that help? You're just giving me your prayers.
I will try every possible best to tell you and then to make you see.
How would you tell me?
I'll tell you.
See that remember we are best of friends, we are colleagues and all that.
I'll be blunt with you. It now depends on you to take it. But I will say it exactly as it is, exactly as I have seen it. I'll be blunt with you because I know that I'll be saving you from the troubles that may be ahead if you continue with the relationship. Okay. And then if you choose not to listen, then I'll not put you in my prayers.
Okay, divine. Let me also paint a picture of where I run to you because I have been. They have, you know, when they say they don't beat a lot of babala and I run to you to say, divine, listen, he loves me, he has a good heart. I probably drove him to this edge and all of that. And what would you say to me?
I'll say like one knot has really gone out, because how would you, because there are stories that I hear and they're like, oh, that girls like it when their man beats them.
They like toxic men.
Yeah, they like toxic men. Like, why?
I'm telling you the whole truth.
Are you in support? Or you are again?
I'm just being frank with you. Toxic men are fun. Now they love both. I'm not even joking. I'm saying this as a warning. Don't try it at home. Don't try it at home. But I'm saying it as a warning that they are the cheaters. They love bomb you, right? So much so that you lose your senses. This is coming from me, who has always been against, don't even give attention, don't even do that. But I experience has taught me, now sitting here, that I get it. I know it, I get it. And it takes everything for someone, and they don't go after the weak, they go after the strong.
The strongest women.
They go after the strongest, let's not do women. They go after the strongest partner, right? They go after strong partners. So a narcissistic person feels like he can easily conquer a weak person. He doesn't go there. He goes for the ones who start with, I'm doing hard to get. He can't get me easily. He will love bomb you. Oh, attention is attention you need. She's listening He would initially act like he's surrendering to you.
I feel like they're mostly obsessed. Like most of them.
Is it obsession? They are very manipulative.
They calculate. They know that, okay, the initial stage they have to put all their effort. So when you now let your own guards down,
that's when you know who they are. Now it's very manipulative. It has nothing to do with loving you per se. They need to conquer you. You are a hurdle they need to conquer. If you you are in trouble anywhere. In some instances, I don't know if anybody has experienced it. If you keep saying no, 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 they start a campaign of hate against you. That's how terrible narcissists are. If you agree and subdue and fall into that nonsense, then they still make life unbearable for you. While simultaneously, see, if you listen clearly, I mean, when I tell you that, now I get it. I'm the kind of person who will come and pack your load from that I was listening to people talk. I will advise me, I will come pack your stuff. You're not going back there because I have seen it. You can't live like this, blah, blah, blah. But now, I sit back because I get it. I've seen people who have been so love bombed. While it doesn't work for me, I see it and I get it. I honestly get it. And that's why every woman should work on their self-esteem. Nobody should give you the kind of validation more validation than you give yourself. So some of us who wait to be given validation are the ones who will be quick to fall into that trap. You know, we must be good with ourselves. Otherwise, you would have someone who is narcissistic. This is not just in love relationships. This is also happens in friendship relationships. And believe me, I have seen it all. You have some girlfriends who come to you in the guise of being so friendly. They want you, they love you, they want to help you. All the things. Listen, I've been through a situation where I had a girlfriend turned sister, turned PA, turned everything, where if I turn, initially, if I turn, value is being given. Oh, no, I know you now, you want to do this. She's gone ahead to do it. I felt dependent. So they get you to a point where you are dependent. But this same person who sings all these praises and wants and understands your journey, because that's what happens when you now feel yourself to this individual. What happens? You let your guard down, and so this person understands, or you think she understands your journey. You think the person knows where you're coming from when you say certain things. When you hear what this person says about you, behind you, you're like, that particular instance, she was right there, and this isn't even how she. Why do you find the need to paint me bad? Because you were right there. You know what I'm facing. You know exactly why that was done. You're like, oh my goodness. When you now detach, there is an entire community that friends that you have, maybe you won't understand, but right now I get it. Now I get it. It is sweet. Narcissists at the beginning, and when you want to leave them, at any point where they don't have you under control, they are sweet people. That's not to say you should go and die. Please leave. See, a lot of people who have come out of such relationships these days, when they have the trigger of anybody love bombing, they could just leave you, even when you have good intentions, and they are like, been there, done that, don't want to be there again. Okay, Cynthia, let's go to the Nation newspaper. We had to digress a bit there because that particular story touched home.
Yes, it did.
So what do we have in the Nation newspaper?
Okay, we have scheduled flights begin at Ogun Gateway Airport. NCAA certifies Ekiti Airport.
Oh, that's nice. Ekiti Airport, Ekiti Gateway Airport. That's interesting. That's the closest to Kogi now, isn't it?
Yes. And then I feel like we've not had. This is a new.
Yeah.
Because we've not really had airports. In case if you want to travel, you have to either come back to. You have to come back to Lagos.
Right.
You don't go to Ibadan from Ibadan. You have to come back to Lagos. So now that we have Ogun Gateway Airport, I feel like it's going to make traveling easier for people. So also we have,
but still talking about the Ekiti Gateway Airport. I just want to read a short excerpt on that story of the airport. It says the first commercial flight took off yesterday, that's Tuesday, with value jet aircraft departing the airport conveying passengers to Abuja. The occasion in Ikene local government area of Ogun State. Ikene, I hope I'm pronouncing it well. Ikene, okay, was graced by government functionaries including federal and state lawmakers alongside residents of the state. This was as Ekiti State also secured the approval of the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority for commercial flight operations for the Ekiti Agro-Allied International Cargo Airport starting 4th of October. For Ogun, it will be recalled that successive administrations in the last 17 years attempted to build an airport in the state, but the project did not see the light of day. Former Governor Gbenga Daniel had conceived the idea of a cargo airport in Iperu, but it did not materialize till he left the office. His successor, immediate past governor of the state, planned the passenger airport and commenced its building. But when Abiodun got into office, he reverted Iperu with the initial plan to continue with Daniel's plan of a cargo, but later changed into a passenger airport. I just want to get to where, I just want to get the story to where the individuals this would serve. Some people said it was just, Abiodun pointed out the complexity of operationalizing an airport, saying building an airport is one thing, but having an airport become operational is a totally different thing. It is a highly regulated industry. I was hoping to get get us to know the states that would enjoy. It says, according to the governor, the commencement of the commercial operation at the airport will boost agribusiness, tourism, trade, and medical tourism, further positioning Ekiti as a destination of choice for people looking for where to live, work, invest, and relax. But that's a very good thing that we have Ekiti having an airport right now. So, meaning, how far is Ekiti from Ogun?
4 hours.
Okay.
So now I think maybe with the flight thing it can be reduced like maybe 45 minutes or less than an hour.
Right. That's exciting. That's exciting. I hope they are connecting flight from maybe Lagos to Ekiti.
Or maybe Ekiti to Abuja.
Well, I just hope that when you get to operational, all that will be settled. But what are all the stories that we have there?
We have 98% of workers to be exempted from payee, said by Oyedele.
Okay, that's talking about the tax. The tax. What's it called now? Why has it escaped me? The Tax Act, the new tax act of the president. Okay, quickly, what do we have next?
Supreme Court reserves judgment in Osun Council fund suits. And then we have federal government to refinance expensive debt portfolio, says Edu.
Okay. Beer industry 6 drop off stamp plan. They want to overtax according to Nigeria. They want to overtax the beer right there. And then that's about it. But we have a story at the footer. It says FCCPC withdraws criminal charges against multi-choice chairman and MD. Okay, quickly we go to the This Day newspaper this morning. Uche Naji, Tinubu's minister accused of certificate forgery, quits. And the rider here says, President accepts his resignation. Premium Times, how ministers' own letter countered his graduation claim. Records show he failed a virology course, MCB 3431 AB, made 2 unsuccessful attempts to resit the examination. So he no graduates.
This don't even give us the details, even in here.
He no graduates. Last, he no graduates. All eyes on Tinubu as INEC chair Yakubu bows out. Agbamuche Mbu now acting. We have here President honors ex-commission's head with CON. That's interesting. Former This Day General Counsel Law Editor becomes acting chairman. Congratulations. And above the masthead of that, Dangote versus Pengerson, Sanusi, Kuka, Otte, Peterside, others weighed in, says unionism not licensed to cripple economy. And I'm excited to read the rider here. It says maintain strike may discourage investment. Maintain strikes may discourage investment. Want protection, fair treatment of workers. ACF BOT chair condemns deliberate sabotage of refinery. NUPEM attacks Oshomole over alleged anti-labor remarks. NLC, Shetima's position on Pengerson Dangote face-off troubling. And finally, 31st Nigerian Economic Summit, beer sector backs the Manufacturer Agency of Nigeria urges federal government to rescind tax stamp rollout. Let the poor breathe. And I guess that's the much we can take on today's edition of Aso Morning. We will be back tomorrow to discuss more and have more vibrant conversation. Divine Symbiat, it's been wonderful having you, and I'm happy you have joined the team to whom we're concerned. This is the new team that we would be having, and I'm happy to have that. But this is where we sign out. I am Dr. Joy Asonye.
And I'm Symbiat Amzat.
And I'm Divine Chizitin Franklin.
That's what Michelle was calling. Have yourself a productive day until tomorrow when we return your way.